Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. We're going to do a quick review of the Spyderco Drunken, but before we get into that, please like, subscribe, and follow the Instagram and like the Facebook page. Before we get into this review here, let's just do some size comparisons of another Spyderco here. This is the Shaman, as you all know. So, as you can tell, they're actually pretty darn close to the same size, if not the same size. The Drunken obviously has overall more cutting edge. That's a huge benefit that the Drunken has. Then we're going to do the 940. This is a pretty darn good comparison. This is a little bit smaller all around. Handle and blade is a little bit smaller, but similar ratios on size and whatnot. This guy probably needs to be cleaned a little bit. But then we're going to do some, for the most part, knives are in the similar size and similar price ranges. That way you can kind of get a feel before we get into of how much this guy costs and what you're getting with it, size wise and just overall. So there's that, which was the XM18 3.5 inch. Here's a Sabenza. So you kind of get a good size comparison there. Pretty darn close overall. And then we're going to do, this one's not in the same price range, but a normal stock or a normal non-performance and non-custom S&G, just a normal G10 whatnot one would be roughly the same price. Actually would be less than this, especially if you get it direct. But that way you can kind of see the size difference there. But let's go ahead and get into the reality of this guy. Okay, so there's a lot of people out there that love the Drunken. I mean, most people absolutely love the Drunken overall. They love the look, the aesthetics, the ergonomics. It's extremely slicey, great for food prep or just slicing in general. You can flick it. You can do that. It's a little difficult because of this right here, getting your finger in there. See, I even mess up there. But here's the thing. This and the blue backspacer there. This guy has been used. It's a Sinkovich design if you were curious, if you didn't know. See if you can see that. It's very reflective. There we are. And then also down here, got the Taiwan, which is better than Chinese, that's for sure. We also got Spyderco and S90V. S90V is a great steel for slicing. If you are having a slicer of a blade, then that's what you want. You want something that can hold an edge for forever. You're not doing anything tough with it. You're not, it's not gonna be a hard use knife. This is not meant to be a hard use knife. It has a decent stock for a hard use knife. Like a kind of a very similar stock you would want for a Spyderco with hard use. In fact, the Shaman, which I would say is definitely hard use oriented, they're very close to the same stock, if not the same. This one is US made though, so there's that. this will slice better than the Shaman, that's for sure. I like the Shaman, don't get me wrong. Shaman is probably one of my favorite overall Spydercos of all time. If you do look at the engraving right there, you see that little weird, that milling, little weird notch. That's a really weird fault in the milling. It's a really odd, just a difference there. I don't know if you can see that really well, but that was one thing that I noticed pretty quickly off the bat. No, I'm not one that really cares for lock stick, right? But this does have some lock stick, noticeable. In fact, at the beginning of like the first couple weeks, it was pretty awful. And I have other knives that have lock stick, and it eventually works its way out. It is locking up still at about 30 to 40%. But overall design, it's very smooth. The lines line up very nicely. Overall, with the blade handle here, it all looks very nice. And then it lines up here. It's all designed very well. I mean, it's Sinkovich design. He's very well known, very good. With great materials. You got titanium with some impressive milling. You got carbon fiber, also textured, by the way. It has the same, this pattern also over here. It's hard to tell with carbon fiber, mainly because of how it reflects light. It's hard to see milling in it, but it does add a little bit of grip. The blue anodization, kind of like a darker, more toned down blue, doesn't pop a ton, but just enough, but it goes along with it. The one thing I don't like, okay, so I like the overall shape of the clip. I like the overall shape. I do not like how not deep it is. It is extremely shallow. So a really good clip that I like a lot is actually, well, this was just recently unboxed, but I changed the clip here. Is a Hendra clip. It has a nice sweep bell right here, but doesn't have a hook, so it doesn't get caught in things. But it has a decent amount of carry right there. See that? That carries just fine. This, look at that difference. Sorry. Look at that. Like, it's very noticeable. This can hold this can go into pans at least twice as thick, maybe even more so. This, sometimes I have trouble with just even jeans, getting this in and out. So anything thicker than that, I would be weary about trying to get it in. So this is why I actually have not carried this at work, because my work pants are thicker, heavier built than your standard jeans. So it just doesn't work well. So the clip is one negative. There is some decent milling in here. You can kind of see that right there, yeah. So a while back, I'm not going to say who it is, thought that there was milling inside the carbon fiber. But they thought that the carbon fiber was a complete, it was solid. And there was no liner. But I don't know if you can tell. You can kind of see that reflection, right? You can kind of see. This is definitely, yeah, there you go. You can see that steel reflecting right in there, yep. So there's a steel liner all the way in here. Like it's all the way throughout here. And so it's not just solid carbon fiber. There is, in fact, steel. And maybe you can see it there. You see that reflection right in there? Maybe you can see that. Well, this is not just solid carbon fiber. I hate to burst your bubble. In fact, here's the thing, is I feel like if it was solid carbon fiber, that would justify the price of this a little bit more. As I said, like obviously the Sinkovich design adds a huge amount of value to it because he's a really well-known designer, a really great designer. It's still a Spyderco though. I would rather have a Spyderco for that money. I would rather have a XLA 18 3.5 inch. I would rather have, there's a lot of things I would rather have over this for the same price. Another one that I would rather have for roughly the same, pretty close to the same price. This is a little bit more. I'd rather have this. I would rather have a Spartan Harzy over that. Just gonna drill the point home. Yeah, I'd rather have the Nkosi. I'd rather have the Nkosi for this price. There's so many things that I would rather have than this guy for the, sorry, I hit the camera. For the 500, and I believe it's around $550. It may have gone up, may have gone down. Depends on where you get it. But for this price and for this workmanship and what you get, don't really get me wrong, it's nice. The finish is nice. The whole being chamfered and it being smooth but also grippy at the same time is nice. The chamfering on the spine is nice. It's all very nice. The finish is nice. This is nice. The ergos are pretty darn good. They're a little funky right around here though, I'll be honest, right in here with that little lip. That is what it is. Well, having Loxic is a little funky. I think what makes me the most disappointed in this for the price is actually the clip. S90V, that's a great steel for the in this price range for a slicing blade. Sinkovich design adds value. Wish it wasn't Taiwan made, but it is what it is. The fact that it's not fully carbon fiber on this price range is kind of disappointing. That's all I gotta say about that in particular. I really don't know what else to say. If you like Spyderco's, you like Sinkovich designs, and you just like the carbon fiber, you like the titanium, you like the ergonomics, if everything you like about it, and the pot clip doesn't bother you, the possible Loxic doesn't bother you, and this not being fully carbon fiber doesn't bother you, and the price doesn't bother you, then I would 100% recommend this. It's a beautiful knife. I have honestly no complaints. My one true complaint is the pod clip, because it does limit what pants I can, what pants this can go in, and when I can carry it. Though you can get an secondary pocket clip on the secondary market. If you do want that, that's fine. So it just kind of depends. But personally, the knives that I showed off earlier, all those I would prefer over this for this price. But is it a great design? Yes. Is it done very, very well with what they did, with what materials they used? Yes. Did they drop the ball in any area? No, except for here. Everything else is fine. Everything else is just me being nitpicky. Everything else is just wanting more out of it a little bit. But that's just kind of my opinion with those things. But the reality still is they need to fix this pocket clip. If they re-release this again, they need to have a deeper pocket clip. Simple. They just do. Yeah, the lines do line up with this right here, so it works. It's just not it's one of the more expensive Spydercos I've purchased. It actually is the most expensive one that is currently in my collection. It is, but here's also the thing: if you're a collector, just in general, and you want to have this in your collection, go for it. It is definitely worth having in your collection. There's not much else I can really add to this, so that's going to be it for this one. And the question I asked in the unboxing was, is it worth the price? Honestly, not really. Is it a great knife? Yes. Price-wise? No. There's so many other knives that are better, higher quality, at the same price that you're just getting more with, flat out. But that's really going to be it for this one. I do recommend it, for there are a few types of people that I recommend it for. Mainly those who are wanting it in the collection, and ones that the pocket clip doesn't bother you, and that the little nitpicky things I mentioned, like the carbon fiber and the possible lock stick, and obviously the price. Those don't bother you, then I would 100% recommend it. It's a great knife. It's a great slicer. It has pretty darn good ergonomics, great materials. Overall, just a great knife. Just little things that shouldn't be there for the price. That's about it. But either way, please subscribe, like the video, and then also follow Instagram, like the Facebook page. And I will see you guys in the next one.